right there, Latin 2. So part 2 of the glossary. We left off with Aegyptus on line 20, so now we're on line 22. Bellum Inference, and that's going to take a dative. So inferre means to bring into, or to bring against, because in can sometimes mean against. So you're bringing war, which is an accusative, against someone, which is technically called the dative of disadvantage. If you want, you could say that you're bringing war upon them, and it's still a dative of disadvantage, but some people consider that to be an indirect object. And I get why, because there's an accusative there, and I would not mark you wrong for doing that. But technically it's the dative of disadvantage. The next one, on line 24, Janus Queerness, Jani Querini. This is the shrine of Janus Queerness. This is the war shrine, or the peace shrine, actually. And so what it was when the doors were open, Rome was at war. When the doors were closed, Rome was at peace throughout its entire territory. It's only been closed a handful of times. And I would actually say that sometimes it's been closed prematurely because it's kind of like you closed it and then you had to open it and then you had to close it again. Let's see, Pax Pakis. This means peace. Pacify comes from this. Pacific comes from this. Also Pax, so like you might have read in your history classes, the Pax Imperia, the Pax Britannia, the Pax Americana, also the Pax Romana. And it's usually a peace brought about by beating everybody up. Pronuntio, pronuntiare, pronuntiavi, pronuntiatum. Okay, this is where we get the word pronouncement from, or pronunciation. And this is just nuntio, nuntiare, which is to announce, but pronuntio is to announce on behalf of someone and for everyone's benefit. So it's to proclaim. Stabilio, stabilire, stabilivi, stabilitum. This is to steady or to make firm. To stabilize, obviously you get that from it. Bis, this means twice. And what I like about that is this is where we get the idea of bi meaning two things. So bicycle, okay. Uxorem ducra. This is to lead a wife, or technically to take a wife even. And that is to marry someone. Again, patriarchy. Let's see, generi. This means son-in-law. Which means that your son-in-law is slightly generic. And you also get generations from this because your son-in-law is needed to carry on the next generation, right? Morbus morbi means illness. Okay, it's where you get morbid from. Numero, numerare, numeravi, numeratum. We saw this with the werewolf. To number, to include, to count. And then you got a bunch of verbs, okay, and they all have different kinds of stems. So, compleo, complere, complevi, completum, to fill or to complete, all right? This could be to fill up someone's jar, or this could be to complete a puzzle, or to complete the missing pieces of an army. Allo, allera, alui, altum. This is to rear, to raise, or to nurse. And I think to raise works really well, because altus means high, so you're making someone go higher. In other words, you're raising them. Cognosco, cognoscere, cognoi, cognitum. We've seen this before. Cognitive, like if you give someone a cognitive test, it means you have doubts about their mental capabilities. Ulkiscor, ulkiski, ultus sum. This is to avenge. This is like ultimate or ulterior. Okay. Cogo, cogera, coegi, coactum. This is to compel or to force. This is where you get coagulate, actually. It forces the blood to clot. And I'm sure there's other words, but really this is just ago agora with a con in front of it, right? With cum in front of it. So you are thoroughly doing something. You are thoroughly driving something. You're driving things together. Persecutor, persecui, persecutus sum. This is to pursue. You get persecution from this. This is a sequor, but it's got a per in front, so it means to thoroughly do that, right? To run them into the ground. This is one of my favorite verbs. Utor, uti, usus sum. It takes an ablative because it literally means to use, which means the thing that you are using is the ablative of instrument. This is where you get utility, useful, etc. Rego, regere, rexi, rectum. This means to rule, to reign, to do things the right way. To have a rector is one who keeps an eye on things and makes sure they're done the right way. You get the word rex from this. Instituo, institutura, institui, institutum, to establish, or obviously to institute. And really, this is just sto stare that's been reduplicated and then put an in front of it. So you're standing something into something, so you're establishing it. Same thing with constituo. Augeo, augere, auxi, auctum. This is to increase, to augment, to have an auction, to increase the price. Defero, defere, detuli, delatum. This is obviously to bring from, to bring about. Here it means to award or to grant. Okay, you're bringing it about for them. And then finally, refero, refere, retuli, relatum. This is relate, right? Defero is to defer, right? This is refer. This is also to relate. This is to bring back in this instance, because re means a back, okay? Okay, so that's all the glossary. What I want you to do now is to do review 9A, B, and E. So review 9, you obviously got to fill in 9A, you got to fill in the blank, highlight what you filled in the blank with, and then translate it all. 9B, you got to fill in the blank and then translate, do the same thing, highlight. And then 9E, that's going to be really easy. Use Roman numerals. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Put quinque, so you're going to write 1, quinque. Then you're going to find what it matches in the ordinal numbers, which would be quintus. So you're going to say quinque, quintus, and then you're going to put the Roman numeral. Cool. And then I'll know that you know what that means. And that is it for you for this particular one. All right, I'm going to hit the button.